I'm Kieran Quach and I'm at the Remakery in Brixton, South London at 51 Lilford Road. Hi Mark. So tell me in your words, what exactly is the Remakery?
So the Remakery is a space for people to work with unwanted or disused materials, to find those materials and explore ways of working with them so that we can create new opportunities and projects.
Could you briefly tell me who are the occupants and what exactly do they do?
So we have people here working with wood, with metal, creating natural glues, growing mushrooms. Many of the projects that have happened here and still happen here are really exploring really interesting things about waste materials, things that are left over and discarded by society. One of the people that works in our space is Michelle. She has a flourishing business looking at textiles and clothes, refashioning clothes and making essential repairs to items of clothing.
Tell me about the Remakery and how long you've been here.
I'd say this is coming on 4.5 to 5 years now. Yeah, it's been a while.
And how did you find this space?
I went to the local business centre, which is next door, and I just thought, no, not for me. And I walked past here and I just happened to see that it was a community open space, and I popped in. I was met by Mark, and Mark said, come in, have a look. We've only got one room. And I just thought, oh my God, I've walked into a scrapyard, because at the back it was just so much wood and so many recyclable materials. And I was like, how am I going to have wedding dresses here? And the place just grew on me. It grew on me. So it was by chance that I found this place.
When did sewing come into your life, and what does sewing mean to you?
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's an interesting question. Both my twin sister and I were raised by my grandma from the age of 4 up to 9, and grandma, she made wedding dresses for a living, as is quite common in the West Indian community. She made wedding dresses and wedding cakes and would cater for weddings, and so there was always lace and rum cakes. I think my sewing was an innate skill, so I think I was born with it, but it was also by osmosis. My grandma sewed, my mum sewed, auntie sewed, it was all around me, so it just nurtured this innate skill.
How important do you think spaces like the Remakery exist?
I think it's essential. I am a Lambeth girl through and through, and this place is a great resource. I'm a Lambeth resident having a space in a municipal kind of facility. This used to be a car park, a Lambeth disused, damaged, the car park, and now it's made into something that a Lambeth resident can use. And so with this, I used this platform to allow other freelancers to come in and use the Mumso platform to earn a living. So at the moment I have 3 freelancers that would otherwise be on universal credit that now come and do commission-based work here using Mumso as a platform.
Do you think the Lambeth Council does enough to promote spaces like this?
In a word, no. I think Lambeth could do a lot more. We struggle every day here as a well, we don't really know what we are at the Remakery, because people walking along, they see the Remakery and think it's a private members club. Then the conversation off the back of that is, why aren't we a community hub? But with community hubs, you need funding, you need staff. These things, charities don't run themselves. And so we struggle quite a bit to have an identity that's congruent with the community, and also people like myself who want to make a living. I'm a mum of a 10-year-old. I don't want to be stuck at home. I don't want to be working for minimum wage. I have a unique skill. I want to be able to exercise that and earn a living from it. And it is important that Lambeth recognise people like us, because we are pillars of the community, and places like this are landmarks, but we need more support. Any business without the right support will fail, and essentially this Remakery is a business, and I feel that I don't know whether Lambeth's vision is quite articulate enough to see what we can offer, which is I think, is the thing for me. I think they should invite umbrella organisations to come in, and just this exactly the same as my model is. I don't actually work here. I just have a bank of freelancers that work under the Mumso umbrella. Is the same way in which Lambeth could maybe utilise the Remakery. So the Remakery is the structure on which you have all these umbrella organisations and groups coming in and using the space. I think that would raise awareness. It would solidify the relationship we have with the community, and it would mature the vision and direction that Lambeth and places like this should have.
Adi is an interesting resident maker who has just taken up a residency here. Has now decided to set up a business growing mushrooms at the Remakery.
How long have you been growing mushrooms for?
I've not grown mushrooms for a very long time. I've been a forager all my life, so foraging for mushrooms, that's where I'm coming from. In about 2018 I bought a grow kit once and grew some mushrooms at home, and then in 2020 I made the decision to set up a not-for-profit business, which I'm hoping to turn into a social enterprise if I can make it pay. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a circular kind of sustainable food production cycle locally, with locally produced food that is grown on waste products. Currently I'm growing on straw, but I'm trying to really grow on coffee grounds waste.
Is the Remakery aiding you in this process?
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't find a better space here. What I've got here is a fairly small space, but it allows me to kind of develop my skills and learn how to grow mushrooms. But I've also got the whole, community here. I've got a whole kitchen here that I can use to boil my grains, to do my jerky cooking and all of that, so it's perfect. Yeah, and it's really reasonable in terms of price. This one.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you want to cook some mushrooms?
I definitely want to, yes.
Do you want to try some mushrooms?
Yes, I do.
I've got a wonderful selection of mushrooms for you here today. And the best way to harvest them is to try and dislodge it from the straw as a whole kind of bundle. And then just pressing it down here maybe and wiggling it a little bit. Moving in with your hands and wiggling it so that it comes off. Yeah, that's it. Twist it. That's it. Well done. Fantastic. So you've harvested your first cluster of yellow oyster mushrooms. And all we need to do now is clean them up. Do you want to try this out? Yeah, that's okay. So you can take the... Have you got any idea how to cook mushrooms?
No.
No? Never cooked any? Okay. So let me show you what you do. Into bits, like that. That looks like a beautiful pathway, doesn't it?
And a little? Or
a little bit and a little bit more. And you can serve it up and serve it to your friends and try it yourself.
this is actually so nice. This is actually nice, you know. Oh. After spending a few days at the Remakery, I see the space where people can come to upskill themselves and prepare for a world that is becoming more eco-friendly and conscious on waste. As of right now, spaces like this are still underfunded. Hopefully this changes in the future.